Hello everyone! Last week's video has been quite popular and I thought I could do a video about how does scuba diving work, meaning how do you breathe underwater and what kind of equipment do you have basically underwater. So since you're not a fish or a Jedi, you need a tank of air when you go underwater. And because you can't hug it underwater, you need some kind of backpack to carry it, which we call BCD, because you want to have a positive buoyancy when you go underwater. You want to float when you go underwater because this is quite heavy. This is steel with air. What is in this tank? It's basically air that you breathe all around you that goes in a compressor that compresses it in this tank. You see how many air you got left in your manometer. It can be either in psi or in bar. In this one I have 3000 psi, which is the basic standard that you start with. And because the air is compressed, there is a high pressure in the tank. You need to be able to breathe it, because if I just try to breathe from this thing, you just have a blow of air. I need a regulator to regulate the airflow. This is what you breathe with. So you basically breathe from it, like you put this part in your mouth and the membrane inside this part is going to regulate the airflow in your mouth. And when you breathe in, the air comes from the tank through here and goes out through these holes there. So it might be a bit scary or difficult for you to breathe through your mouth, but don't worry, because you're underwater you will have a mask that covers your nose, so you can't breathe through your nose. If you really can't breathe without your nose, you can start just putting your head in the water with your regulator on and slowly try to breathe and adapt yourself. Slowly your brain will just get to it. It's just an adaptation time that you have to get. And basically, very quickly, your BCD works that way. You can put some air on your jacket by pushing this button over there that it's connected to your air bottle, like that. Did you hear that noise? That was my valve over there that just expelled it, because if you put too much air inside your jacket and there is no way for the air to go out, it's gonna explode. So this is really normal. Every jacket is going to do that. Right there, your jacket is full of air, so you're gonna float. If you want to go down because you want to dive, you can either push this button or use the valve over there to remove all the air. Remember that the air is always gonna go to the higher point, so if you want to use this button to go down, you want to put the button in the top, so the air wants to go to this point, because if you're gonna hold the button there, the higher point is basically your shoulder over there, so the air is stuck there and it's not gonna go out. You really want to put this part in the top. If you're underwater and you feel that you're like stuck to the bottom, you can also put a little bit of air in your jacket, but remember that if you put too much, you're gonna go up really quickly, and that can be very dangerous, especially if there is boats on the top. So you just want to be very careful. Use small amount of air every time. Also, the air that you're going to put on your jacket is the same air that you breathe from. So remember that every bit of air that you put on your jacket is a bit of air that you're not gonna breathe. So here are the basics of scuba diving. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I hope you liked this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friend who wants to discover scuba diving, and see you next time. Bye!